Come with me on this horrible damp wet Wednesday morning. We've got Mercedes C220d in, and it has got a little bit of a water leak. Now I have already diagnosed it with my pressure kit, and it is the water pump failed. I don't know if you can see all that rusty water. Let's get involved and get that water pump off. First thing I've done, as you can see, I've put the bonnet into service mode. It lets so much light in. Brilliant idea. Let's get it up in the air and we're going to drain all the coolant out of it. Now I've got the vehicle fully raised. As you can see, I don't even need to disconnect anything. The water pump's leaking that bad. It's just going straight into my little receptacle. What I'm going to do now is swap that for a bucket and leave it drip into that so I can let the ramp down. Once we've got the vehicle back down to working out, we can now move around to removing the alternator belt. 17mm multi-splined socket on the tensioner, and we can get that fired off. Now the belt removed, you can quite clearly see how bad it is leaking. The pump itself has got excessive play and it is quite rough. Right, to remove these you need some security T30s, and also at the top corner there's a little vacuum pipe. Be careful when you're removing it, you're not ripping it, because the last thing you want to be doing is losing vacuum. And there you have it, that is the old water pump off. Now it's off, you can hear it a lot better. That is as rough as a badger. Right, the brand new one has turned up, and as you can see it is a metal one, which is going to last a lot longer. Got a new seal to go on it. But before we put it on, what we're going to do, we're going to just clean that fascia around with a little bit of rag. There's nothing, with it being plastic, you haven't got to use any abrasives to clean it. Then we're just going to put some red rubber grease now on the new seal. You don't want a lot, just enough. So when you tighten it up, it slides into place absolutely beautifully. Once you've got the water pump all torqued up to spec, we're going to be testing the system before we build it all back up. And I'm going to be using it. This is vacuum and refill system, and it's a brilliant bit of kit. It's air operated. You get many different caps from many different vehicles. And what it does, it pulls a vacuum on it, and you have to wait, well, 10 minutes or so. And if the needle goes down, you know you've got a leak, and if it stays up, we know it's perfect. And then we can also refill the system with this kit as well, which I'll show you. Once I've got my airline connected, we can then operate the switches. Make sure that one there is at 90 degrees, so you're not sucking any air in. Open that one. Pull the lever so it sucks the air out. It's pulling the vacuum on it now, and you will see the top hoses which are sucking. Once it gets to just over the green, knock it off, disconnect it, and leave that now for about 5–10 minutes, and just watch that needle. If it goes down, we know we've got a leak. If it stays where it is, it's successful. After you've gone to make yourself a lovely cup of tea, it's probably about 10 minutes, come back to your gauge and it hasn't moved. Now what I do, put your antifreeze in these drums. As you can see, it is an AdBlue drum. They've all been washed off. I've got one for green and one for red. Let's just get back to it now, refilling it, and it is just as simple as this. See that little switch? Flick it over. Now that will fill that system, and you should see these hoses expanding again. Once you're finished and we're happy that we've got no leaks, that kit as well fills it to the max. Brilliant bit of kit. Make sure you put all your caps away. Now we can just move around now to the alternator belt, but to get it off you need to remove a tiny little bracket, which is just 2 bolts, and that will pull off, and then we can put a new one on. Let's move around now to the serpentine belt. Now they are a little bit fiddly. Before you take them off, make a little drawing so you know which way they're going back on. Luckily for me, I've got technical information so I can get that belt routed correctly. Right, let's get it on. Once you've got that belt on, now we're going to give the car a big start rooney and make sure that belt isn't running nice and true. Absolutely perfect. And there you go, that is one water pump replacement on a Mercedes C220d. I'm going to let the car get up to temperature, make sure the fans are coming on, and I've also got some plastic covers which go right down there. But before I do, I'm going to get it hot and just double check that everything is perfect. So yeah, anyway, let's get it sent.